Today we're breaking down Black Pearl Cookie in our Beascuit and Topping Guide. It's time to update this one here for you today. And with that said, thank you for tuning in as always. Appreciate your support. Thank you for the likes and the subs. Now, if you got a question or comment along the way, do let me know because I love to hear from you, and feel free to join us in our amazing Discord server, my friends. In today's episode, we will break down Black Pearl Cookie. We'll touch on the Crystal Jam as always because that's a key part of your strategy for this particular cookie. We'll give you the biscuits and the toppings of choice, also some alternative tips and tricks for you to consider and go for a run with this particular cookie. Now, with that, let's get into it here, all about this legendary ambush middle lane cookie, Black Pearl Cookie. So like I said, this cookie is an ambush middle laner, a very, very fun one, and was also a very important cookie when this thing first came out. Additionally, about this one here, we do have the moveset Duskgloom Sovereign. It's a 15-second cooldown. What it does is dives into the abyss and shifts into her true form, creating a whirlpool storm that deals periodic damage relative to max HP. So keep that in mind. This is always my favorite one. Watch this in the back there. Ooh, yes, I love that. Sorry, I had to pause. Enemies terrified of the cookie's giant size like that suffer from terror of the abyss. If the terror of the abyss is dispelled, the target will be inflicted with true damage proportional to the target's max HP. So keep those things in mind. Being the ruler of the abyss herself, Black Pearl Cookie is resistant to all fury effects. Maximum amount of damage proportional to the target's HP is 300,000. So you're capped at 300,000 damage. We have lightning damage right there, but it's in the form of water at 460%. Whirlpool, 10 hits over 2 seconds. So don't forget about the ticks there. Single hit damage relative to max HP, 6.3%. Single hit damage, others, 13.8%. Lightning and whirlpool damage resist bypass at 40%. Healing at minus 35% for 10 seconds, stacks up to 1 times Terror of the Abyss. Attack speed minus 20%, move speed minus 20%, attack minus about 15% for 15 seconds, all stacks up to 1. Now, on top of that, Terror of the Abyss extra damage relative to max HP, cookies 9.5%, and damage others at 13.8. So a lot going on there, lots of things to pay attention to. Again, periodic damage relative to max HP and drags enemies in. So again, relevant to your opponent's max HP. So that's all key to keep in mind there. And then again, this is lightning damage. Here again, we got single hit damage and healing and everything else. So it's all relative to your opponent. So let's go ahead and take a look now at what we got with the Black Pearl Crystals Jam. This has been one of the ones that I have been prioritizing. We're still making our way through it. I'm almost to 30 here, but here's all the key stuff that you're going to get out of Duskgloom Hatred here. Now again, that's that 15 seconds. The rally effect, you got select Black Pearl Cookie, equip it with the Crystal Jam as leader, activate it, you're going to get the ally damage resist bypass with skill 22%, which is really, really nice. Now, Black Pearl Cookie's hatred is deeper than the deepest ocean. The Sovereign of the Duskgloom Sea will decrease her target's attack with her skill and gain stacks of hatred during the battle. At maximum stacks, her skill will be enhanced. For each ally cookie defeated, Black Pearl Cookie will gain an increased number of hatred stacks, so remember that as well. The enhanced skill will now trap its targets in Water Cage, dealing periodic damage for the duration of the Water Cage. Additionally, Tornado will appear at the center of the Whirlpool, dealing extra damage. So here we go. Attack minus 15% for 12 seconds, stacks up to 1. Hatred trigger, Duskgloom Hatred times 35. Water Cage duration. 2.5 seconds, ignores 20% of target's debuff resist. Water Cage there, damage 85% every 0.5 seconds for 2.5 seconds. Tornado extra damage 13.5%. Hatred +1 every 1 second. Lividness +1 extra hatred gained when an ally cookie is defeated, stacks up to 5 times. So all very, very important things here. Now at 10, you're going to get Water Cage duration 2.5 seconds, so you get Water Cage at that. At 20, hatred to trigger Duskgloom Hatred times 35, attack at max hatred plus 5% for 10 seconds, so don't forget that at max hatred. Then at 30, lightning and whirlpool damage resist bypass goes to 45%. Crit percent at max hatred is now 3% for 10 seconds, and crit damage at max hatred is 5% for 10 seconds. So the big one there is that 45% resist bypass once you get to 30. Now on top of that, we got these ascension buffs. If you can ascend your Black Pearl Cookie, you're going to get these as well. 1A, Whirlpool Whirlpool attract targets to its center faster. So essentially rips your opponent's back further. Black Pearl Cookies 5% at 2A. Whirlpool hits +4 for 3A. Black Pearl Cookies attack 5% for 4A. And last but not least, Black Pearl Cookies crit damage +7% for 5A. So there is a ton of stuff here. Now, a couple things around this that you'll see is it's not really scaling. It's going to be really based off attack percent. So again, it's just this percent for every 2.5 seconds. So it's really just scaling off the base stats. So those are things to pay attention to. However, again, this cookie just does so much. It has been part of the meta. If you saw the recent meta that we did here for April as well, you can check that out. You can see that Black Pearl is still a part of this, pretty much like a year later, plus later. A very, very important cookie, obviously, and one that's heavy hitting. Now, what does that mean, my friends? Let's go ahead and talk about the Beascuits. So in terms of the Beascuits here, again, the general strategy is you kind of want to pair the two together. So keep that in mind. First and foremost, get that legendary crispy Beascuit on here. You can obviously attune or reset kind of a thing as well. When it does come to the statistics here, it's going to depend on if you want Black Pearl really being a secondary attack, not necessarily your primary damage dealer, but secondary, or if you want this to play more of like a supporting attack cookie in terms of getting off that Whirlpool a ton, in terms of getting off the special off, all those kinds of things, because that's going to make a big difference. Now, if you're going to go down that attack path, again, damage resist bypass here is the only thing that's available, at least between the two Beascuits and for now, toppings, where you can get this on the legendary Beascuit. I have gone with that here on my cookie. It certainly could be better. That's one thing that you can do in terms of additional support. You can also kind of not make it totally attack and not make it totally cooldown, go somewhere in the middle. So I'm actually going on damage resist bypass. Again, the more statistics things that you have on here, you can certainly add. Now, what isn't a bad thing to consider, again, is that attack, because you'll deal more damage, obviously. And then also on top of that, cooldown. So the reason why I'm bringing up cooldown is I like to have this repeating a lot. At least that's kind of my thing. So attack, damages, bypass, and cooldown are three things that I would prioritize in this cookie. If you're worried about it being a little bit more squishy, certainly you can go with damage resist on it as well. But when we get to the toppings, you can have those as part of those toppings, because you can't double up or triple up like you can on the Beascuit. So those are all key things to keep in mind there. Now, on top of that, just by purely leveling this thing to 20, you're going to get a lot more attack, a lot more HP, and that's highly recommended, my friends. So that is this particular Beascuit and things to consider for this cookie. Now, when we do go to our toppings, here is first and foremost one of the things on Black Pearl Cookie. Absolutely do resonant or radiant toppings like this. That is what you're going to want to do. In my case, I have multiple sets, right? And I would recommend you to be on attack as an example, because it's going to be very supporting, and primarily because of the fact that everything is a 1x here. That you're going to see, it's not necessarily stacking. So if you're within that timestamp or 10 to 15 seconds, obviously this is at 10 seconds right now or 15 seconds right now, it's going to keep resetting, so you'll be able to keep those things on. So that's one of the reasons why you can do this. Now, if you want to keep this cookie in some of the things like Beast Yeast and being able to pull back in PvE or pull back your opponents a lot and take them off your cookies, then you're going to want to be on cooldown. But for now, we're going to recommend attack. Now, and those resonant, like we had just said. So those are all key pieces in Radiant. Now, when it comes to the sea salt raspberry here, so again on the attack, couple things that you can consider, because these sub stats, we are going to have attack, crit, damage resist, attack speed, cooldown, and crit resist. Of the three that I would be on, attack, damage resist, and cooldown. This is why I was saying between the two, if you go on cooldown, you can absolutely try and stack cooldown all the way around here. This could give you another 10 seconds, which is huge. And again, because of these more narrow statistics, you're going to get a better thing all the way through. So just like this one, this is the perfect way that we want to be landing, regardless if it is the chocolate chip here so that you can get cooldown, or if it is on the attack. So keep those things in mind. In this case, we got damage resist, attack, attack speed, cooldown, attack, cooldown, crit resist, cooldown, attack, damage resist, and attack, cooldown, damage resist. So we got 2 right on the right stats. So this is a really nice set for us. Again, getting things to perfection is a little bit harder. You can check out those guides down below that I have or here on the channel, so that you can understand what it takes to get there. But these are all things to consider for this particular cookie. So those 2 blends are kind of what you want to think about, and how you want to build this cookie in relation to the rest of your team as well. Again, in preference, standalone attack is probably the way to go. And if you are running Beast Yeast, I probably would switch it up just to cool down to pull things back if you've seen some of these other guys. So that is Black Pearl Cookies Toppings for us. That is also the Beascuit guide as well. Let's go ahead and go for a run with Black Pearl. This is such a great cookie, such a fun one as well. Let's go to dark mode. This is one of the things that we do enjoy doing here. We're going to go to Hall of Enlightenment. We're going to go to 829. It is time for us to try and run this solo. If you've seen some of the other guides here, we did the new strawberry crepe cookie with the magic candy. Recommend you can check that out, just like everything else here on the channel. All right, 700,000. Let's go for it. So we got 700,000 against all the enemies right here at 250. I think we should be able to clear this. Let's go ahead with the solo mode. All right, Black Pearl, let's do it. So here we go. We'll leave it on the auto so you can see each of these. We're going to gain those stacks. The bar going up there, as you can see as well. Totally knock that team out. And each of these things moving up over time, like you saw in terms of Wrath. Dun, 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 dun. Here it is again. Boom. Knocking them all down. Such a powerful cookie, my friends. Here we go. Here we go. Boom. Now on to our last one. I think maybe they've only hit us like once, but look at how fast our cooldown is even on this. 8 seconds. Now, I think... we can go back. Effectively, there's 350,000 damage. Effectively, I did not switch over to attack, but that is a-okay. We could show you that here too, because it's kind of funny. But if we do go look at this quickly. We just see this. We need to go into edit. We need to switch over our toppings and go to attack. Regardless, as you can see, I'm on 8-second cooldowns. You can go to 10 as an example instead. And then obviously you got the attack. The Wrath is going to be the key there in terms of getting off the more powerful hit and everything else. So that is Black Pearl Cookie at our finest here today. That is our Beascuit and Topping Guide and Crystal Jam considerations and how to think about this cookie oriented to itself and the team and what you're trying to accomplish here in CookieRun Kingdom. With that, if you still got a question, if you got a comment, certainly let me know because I'd love to hear from you. And feel free to join us in our amazing community and Discord server, my friends. All that information is available to you down below. And thank you for tuning in today. I appreciate your support. Thank you for the likes and the subs as we continue to grow this amazing community. Thank you to all of our members as always. We do have memberships available to you. You can check those out. Something there for everyone, priority response, those kinds of things. And additionally, our affiliate links. Those are great ways to support the channel that you can check out. So thank you for that. And don't forget our socials. At me, chat me, as I like to say. Stay connected. I like featuring your stuff. Also checking out your teams and playing those as well. So with that, best of luck with Black Pearl Cookie here, my friends. Keep on running. We'll see you out there.